Hi guys, Shibane here. So every developer should know Linux, but maintaining Linux on a hardware is difficult. You have to maintain it. Things can get difficult. So what if there was a way that you can have your Linux inside your Windows operating system? Some application which can do that for you. So that's exactly what we'll do today. We'll see how to do that. We'll use something called VirtualBox. To do this, the first thing that we'll have to do is go to your BIOS setting and look for a setting which says virtualization. All right, look for this setting and enable it. Okay, that's the first thing you have to do. All right, now boot to your desktop. Okay, and now that you're on desktop, we will look for this software called VirtualBox. All right, so look for Oracle VirtualBox. Okay, I'll go to Oracle VirtualBox, download, and this application we are downloading for Windows. Now host is the PC which is going to host another operating system, in this case Linux, and those operating systems are called guests. So guest has come to the host, right? Okay, so our host is Windows, so we download VirtualBox. There we go. Let's install it. And we have hit an error. All right, so let's look for it. Visual Studio, Microsoft Visual 2019, redistributable, yada yada yada, something. Okay, all right, I go over here. Latest Microsoft Visual C++ redistributable. My operating system is Windows 10 64-bit, so I download that, and I have this application. All right, meanwhile, let me just close this. Yeah, that installation failed. Okay, I install Microsoft redistributable, small little software, close. Right, I go back again to VirtualBox, and let's see if this works this time. It did. Okay, so in a fresh operating system, fresh Windows 10 installation, this error will come. But if you have a much more matured operating system, that is, you have been using it for months, most probably that dependency is already installed by something else. It's a very common dependency. Okay, pretty standard installation. Only the one thing we'll do is we'll remove this Python feature. You don't need it right now. Great. All right, while that's getting installed, now let's look for our operating system. Okay, and I always choose Lubuntu. Now Lubuntu is a light flavor of Ubuntu. I always choose this because you get the all right, our VirtualBox is done, and I'm going to leave it at basic. All right, let's go back to what I was saying. So I always choose Lubuntu because it is light Ubuntu. You get all the benefits of Ubuntu, packages and all that. At the same time, it is not very taxing on your hardware. So I consider it the best choice to run inside a VirtualBox. Okay, let's download 64-bit. Let's go for this, the ISO file. Okay, now while this is going on, let's talk about what virtualization is in the first place, right? So the idea here is that you have your CPU, right? This is your CPU, all right, and you have your operating system. Okay, so I'm going to put the operating system over here. This is your operating system. Okay, typically what happens is there's an application. Okay, this application is going to say, hey, can you run this code for me? And the operating system is like, yeah, sure, man, you seem all right, so I'm going to run your code on the CPU, right? And if it wants something from the CPU back, it's the middle manager which then gives the information back to the application. That's generally how things work. What virtualization means is there's another application, in this case VirtualBox. Okay, what this guy does is it can directly talk to the CPU. All right, because you have turned on virtualization in the BIOS, right? Of course, it should have the permission, and that's why the operating system is like, do you have the admin permission and things like that. Do note, this is 64-bit, right? And my operating system is x64. So whatever operating system I'm running over here also has to be x64, right? Because the instruction set has to match, right? If the instruction set doesn't match, what will happen is it will fall back to emulation, which is that it will become an application, just another application. So this time your operating system will be talking to the operating system, which will then be talking to the CPU, and then it will become very slow, right? So emulation is generally slow, virtualization is fast. All right, so that's basically the idea. All right, now let's go back to our desktop. Okay, all right, so yeah, so let it get downloaded and we will come back to it. Okay, we have our operating system over here. So what we'll do this time is, now the browser's work is done, and I will do a new operating system. All right, I will install it inside, let's say, C drive VMs. No need for it to go inside all the way over there. Okay, the name, I just generally keep whatever the operating system name is. Okay, let's point it to the ISO file inside my downloads. ISO file. Okay, next. All right, 2 GB RAM should be enough. CPU, let's give it 2. All right. There's no need of giving 25 gigabytes. 10 GB is fine. Rest is all okay. All right. Yep, let's go for it. Start. We'll do try or install. Okay, and we have Lubuntu's install page. All right, so you can try Lubuntu, so it gives you a sort of a idea of what the desktop is. Right away, this is not yet installed. Right, this is like a live CD, if you remember what live CDs used to be. Okay, but what we want to do is install. So on the live desktop, there's a install as well. So I'm going to click on that. Next. Time is fine. Next. Keyboard is fine. Next. Okay, what I want typically is, let's just go with minimal installation. Next. Right, so see, this is where I know that this is, I have allocated 10 gigabytes. Makes sense. Erase the entire thing. Everything looks fine. Next. You can give a username and a system name. Let me just call this desk. Yep, why not? And let me put a small little password. Okay, now because this operating system is living inside your Windows computer, let's just log in without asking the password, right? So it will be much faster for you. All right, next, but you can turn it off just fine. That's not a problem. Okay, everything seems good. So let's go ahead and install it. Now this will take some time. I will come back to the video in some time. Okay, we have got this installed. All right, so yeah, press done. Okay, all right. Now it is saying please remove the installation and media and press enter. So you have to understand your application, this application, VirtualBox application, is like your machine. So you have to see devices, optical drives, right? And remove this from virtual drive. Seems it's already done. VirtualBox has detected that it has to, and it has already done so. So I'm just gonna press enter. Okay. So note that there is no ISO inserted this time. And this time around, that's why this time around, this system is going to boot directly from the hard drive. That is the 10 GB hard drive that we gave it. It's going to auto login. Remember that we gave it to do auto login, and it has done auto login. And there you have it, a Linux desktop inside your Windows desktop. Pretty cool, huh? So, all right, so let's do one thing. Let's look for our favorite application called the terminal. I'm going to run htop. So there you go. There are two CPUs like we allocated. There is 2 GB of RAM like we allocated. Press Q. Let's do df minus h, and your root directory is of 10 GB of size, right? So everything checks out, right? And there you have it. This is your Linux desktop inside your Windows desktop. In the next video, we will actually make this desktop usable. It's not just for tinkering around. You can actually use it for variety of development purposes or all type of tinkerings. That's it. Thank you.